Hello, myself Sunil R Nair. Here, basically, we are talking about one topic, that is currencies. And in currencies, basically, we are discussing about one topic, that is ideas. In ideas, basically, we are talking about global warming, and that is the very dangerous topic, basically. And this is everything, basically. Few people says that you have created the city, basically, but you can get the certification of non-global warming. Then he told that basically, sorry, basically, even basically the existing creation, basically, uh, they basically can't give the non-global warming certificate. Then basically, how basically we can give? How basically you can ask this question to me, basically? Then basically Sunil R Nair told, this is actually virtual discussion actually. There is no like basically person basically. Then Sunil R Nair told that yes, yeah, you are correct basically. How I can question you basically this? Basically, can you have created the certification of non-global warming? Because the existing creation basically is having the problem. The old creation basically is having the problem. Then basically, how you can have a new creation basically as a without problem basically. So this was the answer basically given by the Sunil R Nair. So here one of the person told that basically you basically creates the city, you creates the each and everything. City is equal to converts into the global warming by default basically. City converts into the global warming by default. Cities are equal to, few people says that cities basically not contain a single things basically. It contains basically lots of things. We will discuss in medical terms basically first. First basically in medical terms basically cities are equal to all the disease antibiotics that basically first city contains all disease basically till the corona. And in corona basically corona malaria, corona chikungunya, corona sardi disease, corona heart disease, corona head disease, corona hand disease, whatever disease basically you are having in this world basically, that you have to include in the city basically. If you are not including, that means your city is going to be in problem. And that's the people who signed that city basically, they will be in going to problem in lot much basically. Reason, each and every city basically are connected with the whole world basically. Reason is whenever the city is going to complete perfectly, and when the people are going to stay in that city basically, that data are taken, and then basically lots of things basically gets creates. After that basically it merge with the power company basically to get the power basically. That time basically the sign people basically will get in trouble basically, because they have signed basically. And the group basically, that for example the the girl or basically boy basically are from the college or from the city basically where they have taken the education, they also basically gets in trouble basically. Reason, the power company, nuclear power company and the energy company basically, they literally basically creates problem basically. So that's why basically it's a big level post basically. There basically nobody takes the risk basically. Nobody in this world basically takes the risk of signing the contract of city is basically created perfectly. Nobody do the sign only basically. Reason is the energy basically which is collected by the group basically. And one of the person told that basically this basically the sign people basically is not supposed to be aware. Reason basically is the World Bank basically say that basically we are basically collecting the money for this city creation, and we have basically already mapped each and every data basically of the city creation material basically in the form of the products. So products are equal to data also, you can say basically. And one of the person told that basically the World Bank basically has invested the money, given the authority to money to collect the money for the investment basically, for the cricketers, for the sports people basically, that they have already told, right, basically. So one person told that basically the sports group basically is the person basically who created the World Bank, who created the entire world basically, he has taken everything basically into one loop basically, and that is very dangerous basically. He has taken everything into one loop basically. Lots of people say that basically cricket basically is collecting lots of black money basically, and lots of people says that basically that cricket money basically are black money, and that money basically are converted into white money in the Bombay Stock Exchange. Sorry, not Bombay Stock Exchange basically, in the stock exchange basically. So that stock exchange data basically then basically converts into the white money basically, and that's very dangerous basically. And this is sports is basically approved by the World Bank also. That's why basically one person tells that basically the people who created the entire world basically, they have taken entire big level things basically into the loop basically, so that basically if anything basically will happen in the world basically in future big, that is going to finish the world only, that is going to finish the world only. So like that basically the creation are basically there, like that the creation basically are there basically. So everybody knows that basically cricket is collecting black money. Everybody knows that basically cricket is collecting black money. The money basically is collected by the Bombay stock exchange, and that is basically getting white in the stock exchange basically. Currently the black money basically, that is the sports money basically, that is getting converted into white money in stock exchange basically. How basically that converts, that basically might be the research basically, and nobody in the world basically can track that. Reason basically I have already discussed basically. The money basically goes into that country, money rotates into 100 countries basically, that black money basically, then basically it rotates into the financial firm basically, lots of financial firm basically, that money gets rotates, then basically that money gets rotates into the different sectors basically. So that basically if anybody in future basically trying to track that money basically, he can't track basically. If he is trying to track then basically the alarm is there basically, that is the each and every banks basically, who banks and then basically the rotated money basically, they people basically track that basically. This somebody is basically trying to track that money basically, that is 12 lakh crore dollar basically. Just here basically I am taking one example, that is 12 lakh crore. So that example basically I am just taking. So if somebody is basically tracking that money basically, so he will be getting picture basically. So creation basically is like this basically. So black money are basically converted into white money, then basically it's converted into the stock exchange, then basically stock exchange basically rotates the data basically. That's basically the thing basically. Which stock exchange, that is also basically rotates across the world basically, not basically one stock exchange basically keeps that money basically, they keeps on rotating basically. This is basically actually one system basically which is created, so that basically nobody can able to track that money basically. Even basically the stock exchange people also basically can't able to track basically. Even the stock exchange people also basically can't track about that money basically. Reason, stock exchange basically have one owner basically, and he has designed the entire stock exchange that way basically, that if he want to hide some money basically, then he can easily able to hide that money and can keep the control of the stock exchange, that is one stock exchange. So on the base of one stock exchange, the entire world stock exchange is created. That is the hint basically is giving always basically, by hiding the money and by keeping this type of stuff basically in the stock exchange, so that basically nobody in the world basically can track. If in future basically anybody is trying to track the system basically, then he will basically easily able to track that particular person. That's why basically one stock exchange is controlling the entire world stock exchange, and that stock exchange basically might be any country stock exchange. Here basically we can't say which stock exchange basically. So here basically the city when creates basically, that time basically the thing, this type of thing basically are also basically taken into picture when the city is basically getting created.